I would have never thought the Blue Jays and the Mariners were going to be the top two seeds in the American League. It just tells you how equal and how unsavvy, how bad the American League is. It's bad, okay? The American League is bad. There's nothing good about the American League. Everybody knew that the Yankees have the best roster. The Tigers, all season long, showed why they're one of the best young teams in the league. Then all the stuff happened over there with the executives and the sexual stuff, and I don't know. I don't know what Detroit team we're going to see throughout the playoff because there's a lot of clouds over them. A lot of rain and thunderstorms over them. But the Yankees are the best team in the American League. I don't think you can argue that right now. Cleveland, they have the same roster they had last year. As a matter of fact, they lost pieces. They don't have Class A. Class A's out for the year because of the betting scandal. They lost a load of pitchers. Bieber's no longer there. He was traded. There were a couple of players traded at the trade deadline. Nobody would have thought Cleveland was going to sneak into the playoffs. And then they won the division. And the Tigers and the Red Sox. Red Sox are a young team. There's two players right now that are not even going to make this roster, at least in the wild card game, the three-game wild card series against the New York Yankees because of injuries. You're looking at the American League right now. If the Yankees don't win the American League, it's catastrophic. The National League is so much better than the American League. The Chicago Cubs are great. The Dodgers are great. They're getting healthy. The Reds looked really, really good the last month and a half with Terry Francona. And expect Terry Francona and the Reds to make a run this year because Terry Francona knows how to win. I took shots at Goody and Jabba. I'm going to take it back. I'm going to go back. You want to play this rewind game? This is the remix. I'll give you the remix. Jabba and Goody said that the Reds were going to make the playoffs. They believed somehow they were going to sneak into the playoffs. I did not think so. And after what I saw early in the second half of the season, I said this team cannot find a way to win. They find every way to lose. And I was wrong. The Reds did make the playoffs. And now anybody could win. Any any baseball team, any organization can win in the playoffs. All they got to do is get in. We've seen it. Do we remember a couple of years ago, the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks? Remember that? Nobody would have thought that the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks, except me, because I picked it before the playoffs started. Speedy would come and vouch for me. I was the guy.
You picked Texas. You picked Texas to win it all. Yes, you did, over the Phillies, I believe.
Oh, was it Phillies?
It was the Phillies, but the Phillies were close too. They were right there.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah. I had Texas winning. Mm-hmm. But I will go back and look at going into this up-and-coming 3-game series with the Dodgers. The Dodgers are going to be a hard out. If somehow the Reds win this series and knock off the deferred Dodgers, I call them DD, double Ds, as Speedy, you know what double Ds mean. The double Ds, if they get knocked off, the Reds absolutely can surprise and shock the world because they match up very good against the Padres. They match up very good against the Cubs. I absolutely believe that. And by the way, the two teams right now, the Brewers and the Phillies are the best team. The Brewers have been up and down, really, the last 2 months. The Brewers are nowhere close to the team they were all in the first half of the season. They're not. It is wide open if the Cincinnati Reds knock off the Dodgers, because the Dodgers are scary, because they got Ohtani, they got Mookie Betts, they got this pitching staff, this roster, this bullpen is stacked. I mean, they can hit from 1 to 9. I mean, there's nobody when it comes to the roster that can match up against this team. Not even the Phillies. The Phillies, well, even with health, they're not anywhere close to the Dodgers. They're not. But I'll tell you why the Phillies are the favorite, because Kyle Schwarber, to me, is besides Ohtani, you can argue it's him or Ohtani. Schwarber and Ohtani have been the two best players in the National League. And in the American League, we're going to get into it, Judge and Raleigh, and we can argue back and forth with that. I could really see Schwarber winning the National League MVP. I could see it. He's had a sensational second half. Sensational. Wasn't he the MVP of the All-Star game? Everything he's touched has turned to gold this year in Kyle Schwarber. And he stayed fairly healthy. I think he played 143, 144 games. This is a good Phillies team, and they're healthy. The only thing they're missing is Wheeler. That will hurt them. But they have two sensational pitchers that made the All-Star team, or should have made the All-Star team this year. So it's wide open. I think this is going to be one of the best playoffs we have seen in a very long time. You know why? Because I can honestly tell you, I can't pick the winner that's coming out of the National League, and I definitely can't pick the winner that's coming out of the American League right now. If Aaron Judge hits, if he hits in the playoffs, the Yankees are going to the World Series. If he hits, there's no way the Yankees are going to be stopped. Because you know you're going to get hits from Giancarlo Stanton. He's a great playoff player. And I still believe that Bellinger is – we've seen what Bellinger has done with the Dodgers. We've seen what he's done as an MVP player. He is a great player. And by the way, he's the best left-handed hitter in baseball. He's batting .370 against left-handed pitching. So the Yankees have has had a problem year in and year out against left-handed pitching. You're going to have Bellinger, who's the best in the league now. So the Yankees are put in a position where they have the ability, something they didn't have last year with Juan Soto. As good as Juan Soto was, and he was great in the playoffs, Juan Soto had problems hitting against left-handed pitching. Bellinger is not. He's the best in baseball. So the Yankees are better than they were last year with Juan Soto. Crazy to say that, but they are. And Max Fried is a better pitcher than Garrett Cole was last year. Max Fried is 19-5 with a 2.81 or 8.6 ERA. His whip is almost at 1. This guy, besides the pitcher that he's going to be facing in game number 1, is probably the MVP. Well, Tarek is also up there. These three guys from Detroit to the Yankees and the Red Sox, these three guys are up for the Cy Young. Either or could win. But I think it's Tarek. Tarek is the best pitcher in baseball. So I think he's going to be the guy that's going to win the Cy Young. But it's crazy that the Yankees, with what the Yankees have done this year. And by the way, nobody could say that the Yankees' weakness is their ERA. Because the Yankees, throughout the season, they were up and down with the bullpen at one point. But as far as their starting pitching, they've been amongst the top 10 in baseball all season long. All season. Even with Clark Schmidt going down and getting healed back later in the season, this is a team that's had injuries. They didn't have Nestor Cortez this year. There was a lot of questions to this roster and rotation. The questions were answered. Max Fried was worth every penny the Yankees gave him. Bellinger and Fried. Goldschmidt was up and down this year. Wasn't really what I expected him to be. He fell off in the second half. But what these two guys gave the Yankees was more than Soto gave and cheaper than what Soto was going to cost the New York Yankees.
It's always been the AL, like being, and the NL's been, and I think that was more so with the DH and stuff like that. And I think it's definitely changed since that dynamic has been removed from the game. But it's going to be exciting because there's the expected teams, right? And then there's the other ones where you're like, ooh, I didn't expect them to have this good a year or this person. And that's the greatest thing about we played 162 games. Everybody's like, the season's too long, this and that. Game 162 mattered for a lot of things. And it made a lot of people money. It's going to have an opportunity to make a lot of guys more money because they made the playoffs. They get that opportunity to shine. And to crazy that the 161 doesn't really matter when it comes to 162, where you can change a division and wild card and So I'm excited for it as it breaks down. It's going to be tough for the Yankees to get on Crochet. I love watching him pitch. I think he bet on himself and told the White Sox to fly a kite. I want to start, and good for him. So yeah, and then the NL too. I was reading some things today too. It's weird. I have this eerie feeling that it could be an 2009 rematch, just with the Phillies and Tom's. He understands how to win. They've been there before. Guys that know how to win. Bringing in David Robertson off the couch, which is a bold move, and D-Rob's that perfect dude to do something like that. He's that guy. So it's going to be interesting. I think Seattle has some stuff to prove. I don't know if their pitching is going to hold up. And then, Cubs, you just never know. It was really cool. I don't know if you guys saw it. Matthew Boyd just getting emotional starting game 1. It was really, really cool. And I got an opportunity when he was younger, when he was really, really struggling, and just a great, great dude. And it'd be interesting to see what Cade's going to do. Obviously up for rookie of the year with Rick Baldwin, the Braves. But he's got a broken rib or whatever it is. So that'll be interesting. I'm just excited. This is a great time. I love the wild card series, how it went from the winner take all to this 3-game series. And, obviously there is pride in having the best record of being able to stay at home too. So I kind of love that dynamic of what they've created.